Well, good morning. As a part of my Growing Your Own Food series, I'm going to harvest some beets this morning and show you how easy this is to do. Now, these were just grown here in this greenhouse of mine, and these are some that overwintered, so they got quite large and they're still quite tasty. So this is the last in this grow bed here. This is the last of the previous season's crop. So here's the tools that we need. We just need a rickety old basket and a potato peeler. So you can get these, there's two kinds of these. There's this, and I remember this is one kind that my mom used to use to peel potatoes all the time. And then there's this one that's sort of the same thing, but it's got kind of knife blades on it and things, so you can use it to cut with. So this is all it takes, and let me show you here. So the first thing we have to do is pick out a couple of good candidates. As you can see here, there's quite a few. There's one right there. You can see there's a big one. Let's just pull this one out back here. And just so you know the date today, it's February 24th. So it's still middle of winter, actually. Well, winter's going to end, I guess, in a few weeks. But there's one. And you see, just kind of get the dirt off of it, kind of shake it off, and we'll take it over here and prepare it more. All right, so now let's see. I'm going to get 3 of these because 3 is way enough to prepare for our meal for the day. I'm generally only eating 1 meal a day because I found that's a lot healthier. I lost 100 pounds about over a period of about 7 years after I had had a heart attack, and all that has gone away. My health has improved, and a big part of that was losing the weight and eating right. Anyway, so there's another one. That's pretty good, right? Now we need one more. Let's just take this one. There's other ones. Well, I was going to say we can look for other ones, look for other candidates, but they're all pretty much the same. Anyway, so here we go. So there's our 3 candidates right there. Now I'm going to go over here on the top of the, I'm going to use the composter as kind of a tabletop. So I'll take these over there and show you how we prepare these. Now what you want to do is make the mess out here because they make quite a mess. And then the mess can become compost. And that's why it's kind of handy to put this on the compost tabletop. So let's move over there. Okay, so here we are. And I'm going to take these out of the basket and set them right here because we are going to prepare them first. And we'll use this basket to take them into the house. And the reason I do that is because, like I said, they make one heck of a mess. And you know how beets are. They're red, and they have red juice and all kinds of stuff, and the juice really makes a mess. But here's how it works. This is pretty simple. Let's try this one first and see how it goes. Okay, now what you do is you just kind of peel this like a potato, and there. And see, now I'm gonna dump all the refuge here into the composter after we're all done. There, see that? And then, okay, rip that off, and then now we'll go from this way. Now you can either just leave that stem on there if you want, or you can cut it off. Like it's kind of what I'm doing here. You just kind of get closer and closer, and Eventually you cut it off, but when I slice this up, I'll like to cut them up anyway. But see, here you are. Now when we get inside, we're going to rinse that off. So right now, this is the messy part, and we don't want to take that into the kitchen. So we've done the messy part right here. Let's do that. Now let's try this one and see if this one works any better. Now one thing this kind of a peeler will do that the other one won't is you can use these little knife edge things. So see, I go like that and just cut that off. I guess that's a small advantage, but it is an advantage of this kind. So, okay, there's the second one. Now while I'm finishing up this last one here, if you bought your beets from the supermarket off the produce rack, you'd have the same amount of preparation that we have here, pulling them out of the garden. It's just that here, well, you wouldn't have any dirt. There's a little bit of dirt stuck on these, but so you'd have the same preparation time. Now the advantage I have here is that I've got all this compost saved up, and we'll dump that in there. But there's the third one, and let's dump all the compost out. There we go. Right in there. There we go. And here's what we've got. 3 nice sized beets. Now we'll take them up in the house and I'll show you how we cut these up. And the important thing is to notice how simple this is. This isn't really difficult to do. Anyway, let's go on up to the house and finish the job. Okay, so here we are in my wife's kitchen. And if I don't make too much of a mess, I can get away with doing this. So that's why you put all the mess outside that you can. Now, here's all you need. Of course, you need the beets, which we have here. And you're really not going to need these anymore because they're already skinned pretty well. So we'll put those over there for now. Put them in the sink, I guess. And you need a good sharp knife to cut the beets. And one more thing, you need something to cook them in. Now what this is a microwave-proof container. It's just a little plastic thing. I think I got it at Walmart or someplace like that. And I think you can get them in. They come in a pack of, I don't know, 4 or 5 or 6 in a pack. And we use these a lot. They're cheap, and you could, in a microwave oven, you could cook in these really well. So here we go. Open this up. There. Now we'll go ahead and take these out of our rickety basket right now, and we'll put that back where it belongs, where all the dirty stuff is. Okay, so here we go. Now, here's how you cut these up. What I like to do is just cut a slice off both ends, and there you go. And then I like to cut these up so you have like slices so that they can cook easier. And I found the way to do that is kind of cut this in half, and now they'll sit flat on the cutting board, which is kind of what you want. It's a little safer. They're not going to slosh around or, you know, slip out from under you or something like that. So here we go. And then there they go. Okay. Now, let's put this in here. Wipe this up a bit. And there's all your mess. You see, you made 90% of the mess out in the greenhouse, and that turns into compost anyway. And what's left is just cutting them. And the thing I want to impress upon you is that if you'd have bought these beets off the produce rack in the grocery store, what you just saw here is the same amount of trouble, including taking the tops off and peeling them, as what you saw here. So you haven't saved any trouble, any preparation time. If you get them off the produce rack in the grocery store, it takes just as much time. But let's see what we've got here. Now you see I hope you can see that. I hope I'm holding it correctly, but there's quite a few beets. Now beets take a long time to cook, as you know, but we found that there's something that a microwave oven can do that really cooks these up nice. Let me just show you. Okay, the first thing we do is, because we're going to steam these actually, I'm going to put a little bit of water in here. Maybe, a quarter inch or something, not a lot, just some. And then the next thing we're going to do is I like olive oil. Now what we'll do is spritz olive oil in my best spritzing fashion here, so that there's olive oil on the top of all these beets. You don't need a lot, but just some. And then you've got to get spices. Now we've got 3 spices here that we use. This is called Harvest Blend Seasoning, and it's just got a variety of spices in it, like onion, garlic, carrot, tomato, parsley, lemon and orange peel, and a whole bunch of things like that. So we like this. So what we do is we just sprinkle some of this on there. There we go. Now, I might look like I'm sprinkling a lot, but that depends on your taste. Second thing we have is lemon and pepper seasoning. Now, there's lemon in that other stuff too, but I just like the lemony flavor, and you just put a little bit of this over the top. There you go. And this is seasoned salt. Now, I just like this because, it has seasoning in it. What has it got? It's got, salt, spices. Well, the first ingredient is salt, of course. And it's spices, including chili pepper, black pepper, celery seed, and it goes on and on. But what I like this for is to just get a little bit of salt on it. There you go. So there's 3 seasonings. Now, what we do is we put the lid on, and we put it in the microwave oven and hit it for 15 minutes. Now 15 minutes depending on how much you have in this container and how, the power level of your microwave oven. It could make a difference, but ours, it's 15 minutes and it'll do it real nicely. So here we go. Now we'll put this for 15:00 minutes, and off we go, and we'll let it cook for 15 full minutes and then check to see how it's doing. Okay, the 15-minute bell just went off, so let's take this out. Be careful not to burn yourself. Now, the best way to see if they're done enough, I have found, is to simply grab a fork, try to squeeze through. Oh yeah, you can feel if they're a little bit too tough, and I think these are. They're a little too tough, so what we'll do is we'll do another 5 minutes on these, and they should be just about right. Now I mentioned earlier that I only eat 1 meal a day, and that doesn't mean that I don't sneak a snack here and there. But for just, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, no, I don't do that. And I have come to believe that actually for most of us, if you eat a full meal, that's really not healthy to have that much food, unless you're a growing teenager or something like that. I have a neighbor who has cattle, and I have some land here, so he raises a part of his cattle on our land, and sort of in exchange, I get a little cut of his meat that he produces, and so that kind of works out for both of us. And so what these are is these are meatballs that my wife and I make, and I'm heavily supervised when we make these because my wife doesn't like a mess. But anyway, they're what they're in there is spices and eggs and breadcrumbs and things like that. And boy, they are absolutely delicious. And the beef is grass-fed beef, so it's pretty healthy. Now, the other thing we have, what we just cooked, is right here. Well, that's not what we just cooked. This is what we just cooked. The beets. Now they went a full 20 minutes. So what we're going to do is put some of them, like right here. Okay. And we have some Brussels sprouts too. And we'll put them kind of right here. Maybe one more little one. And then we have some carrots too. Now it looks like this is the last of these carrots, so we'll have to cook some more. And what we do with the, you see the liquid that's left over, right here, you can see there's quite a bit. I don't know if you can get a good view on that, but you can see there's quite a bit of liquid left over. And there's a lot of nutrients in there. There's a lot of vitamins and things that get cooked out of the veggies that just happen. So what we do is we make a gravy, I guess you could call it, out of this stuff. And let me show you how that works. So this is a sample of the gravy that we make. And I had to defrost this because we make batches of it, and then we have to defrost it when we use it. And this looks a little lumpy right now, but it'll cook just fine. Now what's in here is these drippings like I just showed you, and spices, and there's dehydrated peppers and mushrooms, and actually it's half and half a can of mushroom soup, cream of mushroom soup, and tomato sauce that we grew and canned here on site. So that's what goes on here. And what we'll do is, if I can be careful enough here, kind of just kind of scoot that out. There we go. And then we just put some cheese on top. And it doesn't matter what kind. This is pretty good cheese. And then we put it in the microwave one more time, about a minute or 2 minutes, something like that. Enough time to melt the cheese and get everything right in order. And then the last thing I do is this is sauerkraut that we make here at home, and this is really good. It's really healthy. It's good for what they call gut biome, and it's full of probiotics and things like that when you make it yourself. So anyway, so what we'll do is we cook this first, and then when it comes out of the microwave all nice and hot, then we pour the sauerkraut on top. What we have on here is a garlic sauce and some butter, and this is homemade bread. And I've learned how to do that, and boy, this is much better than anything you can get in the store, I'll tell you. So let's warm this up in the microwave, and we'll be ready to eat. Okay, we heated this up for 2 minutes. And you can see the cheese is nicely melted. Now, on goes the sauerkraut. Now this is red cabbage that we made this sauerkraut out of. And you can make it out of the green cabbage too, and it's just as good. But I don't know, I just like this a little better, that's all. And it's simple to make this, really simple. It's not difficult at all. Now, I'll go put this over on the table, and we'll eat it up as soon as I get my slice of bread in the microwave and heat it up. So that's basically breakfast or brunch, what you might call it. But look what it's got there. It's got some meatballs, it's got some sauerkraut on top, homemade sauerkraut with a lot of probiotics and things in it. It's got carrots, fresh carrots, it's got fresh Brussels sprouts, it's got fresh beets. This is pretty healthy stuff, and it's not that hard to do. And it's cheap, by the way, too, when you do it that way.